vibes are good over here in the PHNX office.
Why wouldn't the vibes be good?
I'm Lindsay Smith. That's Shane Diefenbach. He's going to be holding it down in the pregame show. Don't worry, though. Shane will be back in the postgame show, and Saul and Espo will also be joining us for the postgame show.
Yeah.
And Gerald, as normal.
Of course.
But until then,
there's no rat in his bag.
There's no rat.
Hopefully.
Although the rally rat has taken on a mind of its own, an identity. It's infamous, if you will, now.
I'm huge into rally objects and rally animals, except for the rally monkey. The rally monkey at the Angel Stadium is the worst. I hate him. But every other rally animal is fantastic. So if it takes a rally rat to win the series, Gerald, get more rats in your backpack.
Yeah, you're just going to have to take one for the team. Like, it is what it is. Also, I love the idea of a rally rat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a rat is like the least...
Yeah, like it would be like a rally cockroach.
Basically. It's like one step above that, it feels like. Although I do feel like rats get a bad rap. Mm-hmm. It's not their fault, but whatever.
Well, they did kill, like...
But did they do it on purpose, though? Debatable.
Do you know if they didn't?
It's debatable, that's for sure. Before we dive into Suns and Nuggets in Game 6, Shane, you do want to throw a little bit of shade, don't you?
Yeah. I don't think any of them are in the chat right now, but the Jason Tatum believers and the Devin Booker deniers can all rest tonight. Right now, let's see if it's still. He is 1 for 13. Jason Tatum is 1 for 13. He made one. He's 2 for 14 with 5 points in a win or go home game. Jason Tatum, you are not better than Devin Booker.
We just had to throw a little bit of shade because obviously that game is on right now. It does potentially have some implications for what time the Suns game will be on Sunday, but obviously that is a discussion for another time. Let's talk about Game 6. First and foremost, who's playing and who is not playing. Unfortunately, the injury report just keeps getting bigger and bigger. More specifically on the Suns side, Chris Paul remains out. Deandre Ayton is also out for tonight's game. On the Nuggets side of things, Jamal Murray was questionable coming into tonight's game with a non-COVID illness. He is going to play.
Yes. But
Coach Mike Malone said that there's kind of just a bug that seems to be going through that team, that locker room. If you heard him in his mid-game interviews in Game 5, he had no voice.
Doc Rivers.
No voice.
I mean, the similarities are there from last year and this year, but the roles are flip-flopped.
It's very interesting how identical last second-round series, including the Suns, and this second-round series, including the Suns, have felt.
I think
but
it was
opposite.
Ralph Hampson that tweeted it out. The Suns traded for the Mavericks' best player.
I saw that. Yeah. That was fantastic. We'll see if it comes through for us in the same way that it did the Mavs last year. But that's kind of a big deal, right? Of course, we've been without Chris Paul for a couple of games now. We've talked about Campaign holding up his end of the bargain well enough. The pace in which the Suns team has been able to play with has been a positive. But now you add DeAndre into that injury report. Now you're down 2 of your 5 starters. 4 if you want to debate the 5th starter being a quote-unquote NBA level starter or not. It's not a great situation to be in.
No, and I can already, you would assume that the Suns fans would be the ones hedging and being like, well, if they lose, it's because of injuries.
Right.
But it's the Nuggets fans. I've seen some on Twitter talking about, doesn't it feel like the Suns are getting better with their injuries? Doesn't it feel like, because of how much the Suns have complained about Chris Paul and how the pace picked up with Campaign, even though it was just because Campaign started in their first games at home and they play better at home.
Right.
And people complain about DeAndre Ayton, of course, the viral video, whatnot, what have you. This team is not better without DeAndre Ayton. It's not. It's plain and simple. They are not better. They're not a better team without DeAndre Ayton. You might get less frustrated because the things that he does aren't going to happen tonight because he's not playing. But from a pure body perspective, I love Bismack Biyombo. I don't think he's going to do very well tonight if he gets minutes. And I don't know if Monty's going to play him. It could just be such a Monty thing. Just go small and see what happens. But plain and simple, you can have your thoughts about DeAndre Ayton, whether or not you want him back next year. The Suns are not a better team without him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bismack and Jock has been holding his own throughout this series in the time that he has spent out there on the court guarding Jokic. But even Jock has told you himself, it's a tough matchup. Everyone knows it's a tough matchup trying to guard Nikola Jokic. And we're going to see tonight exactly how tough that is for Jock and Biz. Because it's one thing to do it in smaller amounts of time. It's another thing to do it pretty much for a full game. And so it'll be interesting to see because Jock's going to get the start. So the starting lineup tonight is Cam Payne, Devin Booker, Landry Shamet, Kevin Durant, and Jock Landale. So Jock is getting that starting nod. We'll see if Monty does turn to Biz at all throughout the night, or if maybe we see a little bit of KD at that 5 as well. Monty was asked about that in his pregame presser, and he said, everything's on the table. Depending on the situation, we might go to it.
Yeah, this is a team that, won games 3 and 4 with pace, and just not having an extra guy, as Charles said, simple math, less options doesn't bode well. Could hurt. And that's how Jokic, kills you. That's why he gets better throughout the game, is because he wears on you. He's like a heavyweight boxer, just leaning, just lean and
exhausting.
Yeah. So
it's like, sir, can you please not?
Yeah.
But Hello in the chat said put KD at 5. There's a good possibility we will see it. It'll be interesting.
Let Jokic have his 53. Just don't let him have his 15 assists.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that is a very hard part.
That is the hard part.
He's a good passer,
He is.
Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, he really gets on my nerves, that guy there. Okay, so we also have Landry Shamet in the starting lineup, which I don't know if you saw this on Suns Twitter throughout the day, but the Suns had tweeted out a game graphic earlier in the morning that had Book, KD, Cam Payne, and I think Landry in it.
No, it was Book, KD, Landry at the front, and then DA.
And DA in the back. Okay. And so everyone was like, conspiracy theory time. Let's put on the tinfoil hat. Landry's 100% getting the start in tonight's game. Well, I guess you got your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Whoever had the scoop on that one, kudos to you.
Yeah, well, also, whoever had the scoop didn't get the scoop that DA wasn't playing.
That's true. Did miss that one. Well, that was what is that? What's that thing where it's like to throw you off the track?
Oh,
trace?
a red herring.
Yes, that was exactly. That was the red herring. Because they were like, oh, well, is it DA or is it Landry?
If the Phoenix Suns win tonight off the heels of like a 20-point Landry Shamet performance, I'm making sure our merch team makes a shirt that says "Cement Your Legacy."
Oh no!
With a Landry Shamet silhouette.
I don't hate it.
Kind of go hard. Chat, would you buy that?
I don't know if it would sell, but I don't hate the idea of it.
I think a lot of people, ironically or not ironically, would buy a Landry Shamet shirt from PHNX.
There's
Go
a good
PHNX.com, PHNXlocker.com.
Okay, so we know who is starting, we know who's playing and who's not playing. How exactly are you feeling about tonight's game? Let's do a little vibe check. Where are your vibes at?
Well, I get why people are concerned, clearly, but what I don't necessarily agree with is if the Suns win tonight, it doesn't matter because they'll lose in Game 7. Because one,
Did you just say that out loud?
What?
That the Suns are going to lose in Game 7?
No, I'm saying I don't necessarily agree with people that think if they win tonight, then they would lose in Game 7.
I see. I was like, Shane, did you just say that out loud?
No, because because when it comes to a Game 7, clearly, as we saw last year, anything can happen.
Yes.
So it hasn't been encouraging. The Nuggets have been better at home than the Suns have been at home, but they've split the games. So yeah, my vibes are F it. This is the hand they were dealt, and this is why you traded for a guy like Kevin Durant. Give me an efficient 40-point performance, please, Mr. Durant, sir.
See,
Kevin.
That's where I'm at. Like, I'm not. I think I've come to terms with whatever happens, and I think I have spent enough time mulling over each scenario, and I am okay regardless, but I do not think that all is lost just yet. I do think we're going to a Game 7.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay if they lose this game. I will not be okay. Hello is exactly what I was doing when you named the starting lineup when I was shaking. I was doing that gif of the dog shaking in the car. It was like,
no.
Hello, always on point.
We'll find out. But to your point about Kevin Durant needing an efficient 40-piece tonight, that I think is going to be one of the biggest keys in the remainder of the series, not just tonight, but if we make it to a Game 7 and Game 7 as well. We're going to need some big-time performances from Kevin Durant in these next 2 games.
Yeah, and you need big-time performance from your role players too. So everyone needs the help, please.
I think the one thing that has me a little bit concerned coming into tonight's game is not just the injury stuff from Chris Paul and DA, but Devin Booker, right? We saw him kind of tweak his foot, ankle, whatever They officially have said it is, which I don't know if they actually have. I'm concerned that he's playing through something that if in the regular season would have happened, he wouldn't play. So I'm interested to see just how much that maybe holds him back a little bit or what that looks like.
I mean, I would hope that it's not great. I would hope that KCP was the one that caused him to miss 10 straight or whatever it was, and it wasn't his foot. I just don't fully believe that. KCP taking credit for defending a guy who's been shooting 80% from the field.
I mean, you could say he can have a little bit of the credit for sure.
I think that the strategy to pick him up full court and throw him off his rhythm was awesome. I also don't think it completely takes Devin Booker off of his game because we've seen him be comfortable in situations where the players make him uncomfortable. And I also have a hard time believing that if they do roll out that same game plan and pick him up full court tonight, that it's going to affect him as much as it did, if at all, in that last game.
Yeah. So that's something to definitely keep an eye out on, what they look like, what Book looks like out there, plus the start that the Suns team gets off to. They started Game 5 atrociously. They started the second half of Game 5 even more atrociously. We need to get off to a really good start in Phoenix. Hopefully everybody who is out at the game is really loud and really engaged. That's always helpful for the guys.
Can I give a shout out to the people that put the shirts on the seats? Not only is that a crazy job to do, but also they've all been fire this year.
You know who does it, right? It's a company-wide email that says, hey, we're placing shirts at said hour. If you're available, come help out.
Did you do it?
I never was available to do it because they always did it during like shoot around times.
Never was available to do it.
But yeah, it's just the people who work at the Suns organization. Well, so shout out to them.
Yes. Yeah. You think Ishbia's doing it?
No.
Ishbia's probably on that email though.
Yeah, he probably is on the email. Yeah, it's a company-wide email. It's like literally to all.
That's funny.
It's like it's Phoenix Suns employees.
I hate lying to people. I made a mistake earlier in the show. Jason Tatum did not make another shot. He is still 1 of 14. He hit 3 free throws.
Okay, yeah. I see.
But he does have 7 points now. He's 5 for 5 from the line.
Good job, Jason Tatum. Emma, what are we wearing tonight? Okay, we got some black and white action going on tonight. Shane, it looks like us.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Oh no, I'm
it's
the Nuggets.
It's almost as if we knew what we were doing here with this
Nuggets.
one. So the Suns are wearing their black statement edition jersey. What does your shirt say? Self-destructive?
Self-destructive.
That's what the Nuggets are going to do tonight. They're going to self-destruct.
No, I don't want a nugget. Oh. She came over. Thank you, Eppa.
Emma was like, you can have this nugget. Yeah. And then the Nuggets are wearing the association edition, the white jerseys that they've worn a couple times throughout the series.
Altitude plays such a big factor at Ball Arena. Actually, it really does, I think.
Who you got tonight by how much?
I have the Suns. Look at me. I have the Suns by 7.
Suns by 7? Yeah. So you seem to be feeling pretty good. You
I do.
And Gerald. Gerald has Suns by 6.
Just because of what we've seen from Book and KD at home, and I know KD didn't have the most efficient first halves at home, but he seemed to really pick it up in the latter stages of Game 3 and Game 4. And plus, I do not think Jamal Murray is fully ready to go tonight. I mean, he's available, but traveling and being sick and shit. I mean, I get a little head cold and some sniffles after I deplane, and I'm down the whole day.
Well, I would agree because if he was so sick that they listed him as questionable, like sure, he may have hydrated and, taken whatever Flonase shenanigans that he's taken to help or whatever. Give me like a 800 milligram Tylenol and be on my way. It didn't go away.
Somebody should have gave him a Benadryl.
So now you want to play dirty.
Yeah,
I like where your head's at,
a trainer should have given him a Benadryl. Here, this will help.
Somebody definitely should have slipped him a Benadryl.
It's non-drowsy.
But yeah, I don't know that Jamal Murray is going to be at his tip-top shape in this one.
I think you're going to get the best of Jokic yet again. Is he the best player in the playoffs?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it. I refuse.
I think he is.
I refuse.
But it's Jokic against Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I think you have 2 of the best 3 players in the series. I think Durant and Booker are better than Jamal Murray has been in this series.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be better than him tonight. And they're going to play 43 minutes again. I don't know if Kevin Durant comes out the entire game. unless there's foul trouble. That's the other thing. Holy hell. Stay out of foul trouble tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
That's
God.
gonna be a big
That
one.
would be a nightmare.
We're
I do not
already
want
down
to see.
a couple bodies. The last thing we need to do is go even further into
I don't want to
that
see an
shenanigans.
Ish Wainwright 8-minute stint in the third quarter. No, thank you.
All right. Some people in the chat are asking if DA quit. I don't know if that came from another comment in the chat that I must have missed or if there's something going on social media, but no, DA did not quit. It was a decision by the team, by the trainers and their medical staff to not have DA play because of the rib contusion that he suffered in Game 5. So that is why DA is not playing tonight. He didn't quit.
Yeah, I mean, this situation's always really hard to talk about. I was talking about this earlier. Like, look, it's really easy because of his track record, not nearly track record, just like his stigma around Suns Twitter and the fan base that he's, he doesn't give it his all in games. And it's really easy to say that. But the bottom line is nobody knows what the injury is. Nobody knows the extent. Have you ever gotten punched in the rib before?
No, but I can imagine it would hurt. And also, I think the biggest question that everyone really wants to know is, because after practice yesterday, Monty said he's going to get it checked out, that it's still pretty sore and tender. He was going to get it checked out. And I want to know if they got x-rays, is it just a bruise, like a really deep bone bruise, or is there like a fracture? Did he break a rib? I would love to know that, but we probably will never know.
I also think that the way the injury happened is kind of a reason why people are up in arms about this. Is people didn't even realize he was injured. Like, it was such a flew under the radar. Like, he got popped by a knee, and then he wasn't able to run down the court that play, and then he just played through it. So people didn't even realize that he was hurt.
Also, Meta Mike said contusion is bruise. ... Do you trust the Suns to tell you the full story at this point? Because I don't. I feel like everything is a contusion.
Yeah, contusion is just such an easy
it's just what you say at this point. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm mostly poking fun. That's all. Emma, what do our friends over at the BetMGM Sportsbook think about tonight's game? Shane,
this line's moved a lot. So I saw this line at 2.5 this morning, right before I got on bets, and I said, "Give me the Suns 2.5." And then Jamal Murray was listed as questionable with a non-COVID illness, and it moved to 3.5. And the money line moved to 165. And I was like, still like it. I actually really love it because there's a chance that you can get value with him not playing. And then the DA thing happened, and it moved down to 2.5, and then it was bet down to 1.5, and it's stayed at 1.5 since then. It's been all over the place. The Suns are favored, which I think is still a little surprising.
I agree.
But home court advantage, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the Suns have played pretty decently at home throughout this series. I will say the Nuggets have played better away than the Suns have played away, but the Suns at home have played solid. So I'll give them that as to a reason. Plus, maybe they are just like us and they want a Game 7. Who knows? But if you guys want to get in on the action, make sure you download the BetMGM app today, hopefully in the next 11 minutes before this one tips off, so you can get your bets in before the game starts. Sign up for BetMGM, use that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers that we've got for you guys depending on where you live. But for our Arizona audience, you'll get up to $100 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use that bonus code PHNX. You can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
I'm going to do it live. You ready?
Go.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
Also, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Neutral. They've got the best vodka seltzer out there on the market that's made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Who doesn't love those three things? Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you exactly what a vodka seltzer can be. They've got flavors like watermelon, pineapple, mango, and raspberry. And their brand new orange flavor is also on the shelves, so be sure to get your hands on that. Find them at a local store near you by checking the show notes for details. So G in the chat said, I had bruised ribs before, and it was hard to breathe. Sneezing and laughing was pretty painful as well. I don't know about you. I sneeze really hard. And I've had sneezes that hurt my ribs when they're not even bruised. So I could only imagine, like, if there was a bruise on top of that and you sneeze, the amount of pain that you would be in.
Yeah, it's not I mean, like, there's a reason why sometimes somebody will go down in whatever sport Football, it's usually the most common aside from like combat sports when they get the wind knocked out of them and they think they are dying. Because it's like anything near your solar plexus, which is, I just really wanted to say that word. That's one of my favorite words, is scary.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I would enjoy that at all. All right. So there's a couple people in the chat. Jeremy says, tonight feels like the end of an era. A lot of people I still feel like are really down about today. And listen, I understand where it's coming from. I do. I understand.
Era though.
But, well, as in like, they think that DA is going to be gone. Chris Paul is going to be gone. Monty's going to be on. I understand.
Your era is Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
I understand that it is a rough time right now. We're all going through it. But you got to put good juju out into the world before and during this game, okay? All I'm asking, if they lose, come back here post-game and we will bitch and complain all you want, right? We can do whatever you guys want, or we can read you funny memes. Whatever it is that you need to get through it, we are here for you. But during this game, you got to put positivity out into the world, okay?
Yeah.
We got to at least do our part as fans.
The Phoenix Suns are favored at home.
Yes. We're going to be okay.
Come on.
We're going to be okay.
I got this.
All right.
Jason Tatum is still 1 of 14.
It's go time, everybody.
You know what you could be? You could be in a game currently on the road down 2 points, and Devin Booker would be 1 of 14 from the field, 0 of 6 from the three-point line, and a -7. Boston Celtics.
Also, apparently everyone was saying it's Al McCoy era. But Al's not over either. Al will be back on Sunday.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Al's going to be back on Sunday.
Guys, what are we doing?
What are you doing?
Come on.
Same thing. We'll see Al again on Sunday.
This is the voice of a confident man.
All right. Anyway, Metal Mike said we need that gif of point missed, where you're just like the point and you go, ooh, right over my head. There you go. Sorry about that. Anyway, still trying to be positive around these parts. Thank you guys for joining us for the pregame show. I know we're ending a little bit early today, but don't worry. We'll be back postgame. Saul's going to call in and join us. Espo's going to call in and join us. Gerald's going to call in and join us. So we're going to have a lot of faces and a lot of voices to hear from, regardless of how this one plays out. So make sure you're here at the end of the game. Bye.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though.